Hello again, friends. Miss Collins here, and hopefully by now you guys have watched the line song. During that line song, you should have learned about a bunch of different kinds of lines, and hopefully by now Miss Collins has given you a single piece of string. We are going to use this string to practice some of our lines. So I'd like for you to take your string, hold it with one hand on one side and one hand on the other so that you have a hand on each of your pieces at the end, and we are going to pull nice and tight to make our first few lines. So the first line that I want you guys to make is a horizontal line. Remember, horizontal is straight across, just like this. Horizontal is nice and flat. It stays the same from one side to the other. If you were to pull your hands together, they should be the same when you pull them apart. So this is a horizontal line. Now let's do a vertical line. Vertical lines are up and down. They're nice and tall, again, very, very straight. One hand is way up high and one hand is way down low. That is a vertical line. Now take your string and make a diagonal line. Diagonal lines can look kind of different, but it just means that one end is higher than the other. So a diagonal could be this way as well. One end is higher, one end is lower, and they are not at the same spot. So I could have a really shallow slope to my diagonal line, or I could have a very, very steep diagonal line. As long as they're not lined up like vertical or horizontal, somewhere in between is a diagonal line. Now for the next few, we're going to have to lay our string down on our table to talk about some other lines. First, let's make a curved line. So a curved line is just going to be something that goes up kind of like a hill. So this is a pretty good curved line. It starts low, it gets high, and then it gets low again. This is a curved line or an arch. Now let's see if we can make a wavy line. A wavy line goes down and up and down, kind of like a curved line, but it does it over and over and over again. So this is a bunch of curved lines all over and over and over. That is what makes a wavy line. I'm not sure we can make a zigzag line with our string. You can give it a shot. A zigzag line looks something like this. Like shark teeth, very, very, very pointy, up and down points. It's a lot different than a wavy line. A wavy line is very, very soft and smooth, whereas a zigzag line is a lot more sharp. So this is wavy and this is zigzag. The last one that I want you to try to make is called a spiral. A spiral line either starts small and gets big, or starts big and gets small. So this would be a spiral. You can see our line starts small and gets nice and big by the end of it, or it can start here and be big, big, big and get smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes to the inside. So that is what is known as a spiral line. Now we're going to use a couple of these lines to make our artwork today. So go ahead and take your string and put it away. I don't want to see your string out anymore today. If I see it, I'm going to take it back. If you would like to keep the string, make sure you keep it hidden. I'm going to give Miss Collins in real life a moment to make sure all of our materials are passed out. And if they are, we are ready to get started. So in front of you, you should see a flat sheet of paper and a bunch of little strips of paper. This flat sheet is going to be your base. We are not going to be cutting this sheet at all. We're also not really going to be putting any glue on this sheet at all. The only thing I want you to do is right now I would like for you to take some kind of writing utensil, that's pencil, marker, I have a Sharpie here, even a crayon, just something, and I want you to try your best to write your name. My name is Miss Collins, of course, so I'm going to write my name right here on the edge. And I would like for you guys to write it as close to an edge as you can, anywhere along the little border of your paper. That is known as your edge. Now, once you have that, you're ready to start using these strips. Now, what we're going to be doing today is building a sculpture. A sculpture is something that you can see from all the way around. Right now, our paper is very flat. If I were to hold our paper like this, you can't really see it from all the way around. It's very, very flat on this side and nothing is popping up. We want to have our artwork turn into a three-dimensional sculpture so that it is something popping off the paper. We want it to be able to be a physical thing. So we're going to use these little strips of paper to create our sculpture. We're going to have our strips of paper popping off, kind of like this. It's going to be awesome. Now we're going to do that in a couple different ways. The first way is just to make a curved line. If you remember, we had our curved line that looks something like this. So what we'll do is we'll create our curve and we'll attach it down to our paper. But without the proper sticking or the proper feet, our piece of paper will not stay in place. We have to give our little curve some feet. So in order to create feet, you're going to take one of your little edges and you're going to pinch it back towards itself. So you're just making a little fold like this, making a little foot. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to pinch towards the inside. So when you see your little curve, it should have these tiny little dancing feet. Now these feet are what is going to hold our curves in place. So we're going to apply some glue and that is what will hold it onto our paper. When you are gluing, make sure you are only gluing the strip. I do not want you gluing the paper and then trying to put your strip on the paper. I want you taking your glue and putting just a little bit right there on the foot. Same thing on the other side. And you can see I'm working on my background sheet. This purple color is my base sheet or my background sheet. I'm not putting my glue on over here on the table because I might end up accidentally getting some glue on the table and I don't want a sticky table. So I'm always going to apply my glue over another sheet of paper. So I'll take my little feet and I'm going to place him wherever I'd like. I can do him nice and wide like this. I could do him really, really tall. It's totally up to you guys. I could even have him kind of curved. Wherever you want to plop your piece, that's where you're going to do it. And you're going to hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to hold every time you glue. Otherwise, it will not stick like it should. So that's one way to make our start of our sculpture. You can see our curved line is sticking up off of our paper. Another way is to take a strip and make a point. So we're going to make a pointy line, kind of like a zigzag line, but a little smaller. So we're going to start with just one point. So you're going to take your piece and you're going to fold it in half. Just like that. So you have kind of like the letter V. Then, just like we did with our curved line, you're going to give your letter V some feet. So you're going to pinch one side to give it a foot, and you're going to pinch the other side to give it a foot. And then you can put that point wherever you'd like. Now again, you can't just stick them on there. You got to make sure you're gluing those feet. So I'm going to apply a little bit of glue on this foot. And see how I missed my foot and got a little bit on my paper? That's okay. That will dry. But if it was on my desk, I would be making a sticky desk. So I'll have glue on the bottom of each of my feet. And then I will glue my little pointed shape down wherever I want him. There we go, just like that. So right now I have a curve and I have a point. There's one more way I'm going to show you to do your lines. I'm going to use, I guess, this white sheet, and we're going to make that zigzag line that we talked about earlier. So you're going to pinch just like you did for the foot, but then you're going to pinch it back the other way. Now this is going to be kind of tricky. If you don't get it on the first try, that's okay. You're going to try again. So you're just going to be folding it back and forth, kind of like making the letter W or a Z, just a zigzag line back and forth, back and forth, and I'm just folding it all together until I get to the very end. Now, once I get to the end, if I open it up, I have this awesome zigzaggy line, and I already have 2 feet that are ready to be glued. So I'm going to lay my zigzag line down, add a little bit of glue on each of my feet, and then I'm going to glue my zigzag line down, just like this. That one's my favorite. I really love those zigzag lines. I think those are so much fun. So you can keep zigzagging or pointing or curving your lines for as many times as you'd like. I'd like for you to cover this whole paper in a beautiful paper sculpture. And once you are done, let Miss Collins know, and we will put it inside of our desk to dry until the end of school. Thank you for creating this awesome line artwork with me today. I had a lot of fun, and happy creating. Bye, guys.